that Warzone Season 5 Reloaded is here, there's a brand new top 5 best meta loadouts that you need to be using right now. Every weapon on this list was buffed in some capacity and genuinely is in the conversation of being meta. So with that being said, if any of these loadouts do help you out in any sort of way, do me a solid by clicking that thumbs up button. Make sure you guys subscribe for more. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. For loadout number 1, we have the LACHMANN 5.56, which I personally believe is the current long range meta. After this update, the Corona got a massive nerf and they actually increased the damage overall on the LACHMANN 5.56, which you guys could see on screen from the patch notes. This thing's already a laser beam, so you kind of just got to make it dominate at longer ranges. So for the first attach on the 60 round mag, so I can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. Also, it's a lot more forgiving if you're missing your shots or whatnot. I have on the F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel, which is going to be a common theme with my long range weapons. This thing, it's the best underbarrel for any weapon when you're looking for accuracy and recoil control. You guys could just see by the stats right there. I then have the Harbinger muzzle where I get an increase in bullet velocity and damage range. It'll make my LACHMANN 5.56 just that much more effective at longer ranges. We also get sound suppression, so we're off the radar. Enemies don't know where we're at. We have the LACHMANN Wrap Barrel, more bullet velocity, more damage range. It's just gonna make this thing kill quicker at longer ranges, which is what we're looking for. We get another increase in recoil control, like we even need it. And then we have the best optic for any long range weapon in Warzone, the aim op. And then as far as goes for the tuning, on the underbarrel, I tuned it for recoil stabilization, aiming, idle, stability. As you can see on the tuning chart, just maxed out on the accuracy. This thing has 0 recoil. It's unbelievable. Wait till we get at the firing range. For the muzzle, I did recoil smoothness and then bullet velocity, which mainly favors the recoil control of the range and damage, which is exactly what we're looking for. Same goes for the barrel, recoil steadiness, damage range. The graph looks pretty much the exact same, but even greater with the damage and range. And then for the optic, I did aim down sight speed and then close. If we take this thing to the firing range, I mean, unbelievable. 0 recoil. It's super easy to use and way stronger than it was before. I think this is the meta AR of Warzone right now. Speaking of meta, the second loadout we're gonna be taking a look at is the LACHMANN sub, which was left alone. It was meta before the Season 5 Reloaded update, so it's still meta. So here's my build for it, which I just literally recently covered. Nothing's changed. We got the 50 round drum, so I can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. Again, it's just a lot more forgiving, so I don't get caught reloading since you can't reload cancel. I then threw on the hollow point ammunition, which make this thing just so much better. You get crippling power, so anytime you just fire bullets at an enemy, they kind of are slowed. They just get heavily impacted by this, and they honestly can't even recover. It's so annoying to encounter, so you got to have it on. For the barrel, I have on the Falcon barrel. I get movement speed and aim down sight speed. That just helps me get around the map a little bit more smoothly. I can be quick and snappy with my shots with the aim down sight speed. I have the VLK laser, more aim down sight speed. I get sprint to fire speed, so the weapon comes up quick after sprinting. This is our secondary, man. You want to finesse around. That's why there's so much speed involved in this build. I also get aiming stability, which helps with my accuracy. And then same with the mirror recoil factory stock. I get more aiming stability, recoil control, but I also get sprint speed. So again, I just feel lighter on my feet. And then for the tuning, ammunition, I did damage range and bullet velocity. It just makes this thing even stronger, which is literally awesome. For the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and then aim down sight speed. I get best of both worlds. My weapon's more accurate. I'm still speedy. For the laser, I did sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Literally, I just tuned the laser for what the pros were. Aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed. And then for the stock, I did aim down sight speed and aim walking speed, which helps you strafe quicker, makes it way harder for the enemy to land shots on you. You take this thing to the firing range real quick. I mean, dude, it's literally perfect. You get such good speed. Look at that. It's so snappy. I mean, it's still the meta SMG of Warzone 2, without a doubt. For loadout number 3, we have the good old M4, which was all right. You know, you were able to use it, whatnot. Well, again, conversation of meta, because they actually increase the close damage range and the close mid damage range. So this thing's gonna kill a little bit more quickly in those mid to close damage ranges, which is awesome. So here's the build I had for it. We have the 60 round drum, just like we did in the LACHMANN 5.56. Just very forgiving. If you miss some shots, it's okay. It just helps you take enemies out without having to reload or whatever the case may be. Same underbarrel, like I said, it is the best underbarrel for accuracy. You gotta have it on for any long range weapon. Same muzzle as well. I don't need to go over it. By far the best muzzle for those long range weapons because you get the damage range and bullet velocity. For the barrel, we have the high tower 20-inch barrel. We get more damage range, more bullet velocity. Again, just making our M4 so much more effective at longer ranges. And then same optic. Again, it's pretty much the same exact build, but on the M4, we got the aim OP. And then for the tuning, I did on my M4, pretty much the exact same for the LACHMANN 5.56 that we did. Recoil stabilization, aiming idle stability, damn near maxing out the accuracy there. Same goes for the muzzle, recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. And then for the barrel, wait, what? Why is it making me reset it? Oh, okay, the tunes are still there. We got recoil steadiness and damage range, which mainly favor the damage in the range. And then for the optic, I did close and aim down sight speed. Enough talking, bro. Bring this thing to the firing range, and you're gonna see, again, it feels good. Recoil controls are not bad whatsoever. Again, I haven't used the M4 in a minute, so. You got decent mobility. ADS isn't super bad. Viable option right here. For loadout number 4, we have the BAS P, which it's given the LACHMANN sub a run for its money. Out of everything that got buffed and nerfed in Season 5 Reloaded, the BAS P, in my opinion, got the biggest change. I mean, they basically just buffed the damage across the board on this. And this build right here, man, unbelievable. We got the 50-round drum, just like we did in the LACHMANN sub. It's just a lot more forgiving, take out multiple enemies. I got the overpressure rounds instead of the hollow point. And with this, the enemies get greater flinch. So the second I shoot them with my BAS P, I mean, their accuracy is all type of messed up. Again, you could probably go with the hollow point as well. It's all personal preference. I think this is just a little bit better for the BAS P. I then threw on the Bruin Typhon barrel, where it has an integrated suppressor on it. We also get bullet velocity and damage range, so this thing's a little bit more effective to those mid to long range engagements. We have the VLK laser. We get aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, more aiming stability. So the 2 speeds we get on this, super important. That's why I have it on. And then on top of that, it's also gonna make my weapon more accurate. And then we have the Bruin Flash V4 stock. This is what really brings this whole build together, man. Sprint speed, you can get around the map a little bit more quickly. Aim walking speed, you can strafe quicker, making it way more challenging for enemies to land shots on you. More aim down sight speed. And then for the tuning, I did damage range and bullet velocity, which just make this thing even stronger and ridiculous. For the barrel, we did recoil steadiness and damage range. For the laser, we did sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed. And then for the stock, I literally just tuned it for pure mobility. And dude, this thing, I'm gonna get some gameplay out on this on the channel. So again, just make sure you guys are subscribed because dude, look at this. Look at the ADS, look at the sprint speed. I mean, dude, I wanna get in the game so bad with this. Just look at good mid damage range. You weren't able to do at the BAS P before. So again, dude, make sure y'all are subscribed because this, I don't know, this versus the MP5, which is better? Let me know in the comments. And then for our 5th and final loadout, this is gonna be perfect for sniper support. So you could use this at long ranges. You could use this as an SMG. It's a hybrid and it's so good. And that is the FR AVANCER. So what they did was buff the close damage and far damage. It's very broad terminology, but the thing's stronger, it kills quicker. How could you go wrong with it? So here's the build I went with. I got the 45 round mag. You know, you could do the 60. It does slow you down a little bit more. It's up to you, man. When I was building these setups, I was really kind of, I'm gonna throw the 60 on. I had it on for 45, but it's kind of, it's up to you, man. I don't know. I like having extra bullets in my weapon. For the muzzle, I have the Cronin OP44. You get vertical and horizontal recoil control. It makes it a laser beam. Once we get to the firing range, you'll see what I'm talking about. We have the FSS Ali V laser on. Very common attachment throughout all the loadouts in today's video. I'm not even gonna go over it. You already know about that. We got the FR Sprinter stock. Aim walking speed. I'm someone who every gunfight, I'm always strafing. So this is super important to me. We also got sprint speed because again, you could use this in up close gunfights. I kind of want to have that mobility to it. So that's why I threw it on. And then my final attachment is the SA Ion rear grip. I felt like my weapon was a little rough for the recoil control. So just to, you know, give that, you know what I mean? You got to throw this on, which is really helpful. And then for the tuning on the muzzle, I completely just tuned it for recoil control. And that's what the attachment was dedicated to. For the laser, we literally tuned it exactly how we tuned it throughout the rest of today's video. You actually cannot tune the FR Sprinter stock. And then for the rear grip, we did recoil steadiness and then aim idle stability, which just mainly favor the recoil control. You take this to the firing range, and like I said, it is a hybrid, bro. Look at this. You actually get very, very good mobility for an AR. ADS speed, fairly good. 0 recoil as well. And then you might be able to... You could still participate in those super long ranges. So again, this is something that is usable at any range, and it's just something fun, to be honest. And then quickly for the tactical, lethal, and perks for all these loadouts, I always want to smoke so I can rotate, or if I got to get out of, you know, harm's way, you could just kind of smoke it out and get out. I got the throwing knives because I mainly play Resurgence. You could finish down players without wasting ammo. And then my perks I love to use are double time, because again, I'm always on my feet. I'm an aggressive player. We got overkill, so we can have both of our weapons. Fast hands, I'm always YYing, using my equipment when I throw my throwing knives. Reload quicker, and then high alert, so I know when I got eyes in the back of my head. It's so nice. Sometimes the TTK feels very, very quick, so you can kind of get out of the way and, you know, whatever you got to do. And those are the top 5 meta loadouts after the Season 5 Reloaded update. If any of these help you out in any sort of way, click that thumbs up button, helps push the video, gives us more exposure, and I'll see you on the next upload, only if you guys are subscribed with all those notifications, all right? You guys all stay safe, have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.